So yesterday I'm channel surfing and I hear Howard Schultz, he's leaving Starbucks and perhaps ultimately going to run for president. He mentions over and over again how America has lost its standing in the world, hinting that if he does run for president, it would be a key part of his platform that he somehow wants to restore that standing. I got to tell you, I'm not one of those Americans that worries about our so-called standing in the world. Listen, America should never take any actions to appease others and certainly shouldn't do that to make them like us. Remember, today marks the 74th anniversary of Operation Overlord, the pivotal battle to win World War II. 16 million Americans fought in that war. 418,000 died. Overall, America has given away trillions of dollars and even more valuable stuff, including millions of lives of our best and brightest fighting men and women, all in an effort to keep tyrants at bay and to lift up the downtrodden. And one of the results, we've got a global middle class that has swelled by 1 billion people in the last 2 decades. It would not have happened without our sacrifices. Our standing in the world should never be questioned or in doubt. Here now to discuss, David Hunt, retired U.S. Army Colonel and Fox News military analyst, Joe Borelli, New York City Council and Minority Whip, former Trump New York campaign co-chair. Colonel Hunt, it's been a long time. It's great to see you.
Hi, thanks.
Let's talk about this idea that somehow our standing in the world is faded, and that should be a top goal for us to somehow make the rest of the world like or respect us.
Well, that's crap. We've been fighting the war on terror for 17 years, mostly by ourselves. A little bit of help from our allies. This still is the greatest and has been my entire life. One of the reasons for is our military. And what happened 74 years ago was phenomenal bravery by us and our allies, storming across the beach. That kind of fire hasn't been seen since World War I. And it's based on a deception that put George Patton up on the coast with blow-up tanks that held off German tank divisions from going to the beach. Those tank divisions had shown up, we might still be on the beach. But the American military is one, not the only, but it's one of the reasons it's the greatest country in the world. And we don't bow our heads to anyone, and that's one of the reasons for it.
Of course, Joe, we remember President Trump began his presidency with a sort of an apology tour going around the world to big, huge stadiums, hundreds of thousands of people. Obama, I'm sorry. And in some cases, maybe even bowing to people, they debate that. But certainly it seemed like it was his mission to sort of restore our standing in the world, and I thought that was a huge mistake.
Well, right. You saw President Obama spend 8 years trying to be the most popular president at the UN. He wanted to be the president of the world and not the president of the United States of America. That's part and parcel to why we have President Trump today. All along, we're talking about veterans. All along the campaign, he's promising these guys that we're going to bring back accountability to the VA. We're going to bring back private health care to our veterans. And I'm so proud that today he actually signed the VA Mission Act.
Right. And that will $6 billion, close to $6 billion, access to not only VA hospitals but also private facilities so that these folks don't die while they wait. Colonel Hunt, let me ask you, how do you feel now as we look ahead with respect to us continuing this? A lot of people talk about the greatest generation. Can we keep it going?
Yeah, we have. My father was part of that. He spent 4.5 years in the Pacific fighting the Japanese. My father's generation was phenomenal. But you know what? So is this one. And the ones that we're bringing up now. We have a phenomenal country. Right now, though, what's happening is these wars are being fought by less than 1% of that country. It's an all-volunteer force. Right. And that's a big deal. My father's generation, that was a draft great army.